Hio de Gallo. Let's smile and relieve angst from my childhood. This, to me at least, this was the garage sale find of a lifetime. I have wanted this toy literally my whole life. And it's kind of funny deal because out of all the Transformers, it was really popular, and I told a handful of friends that I found it, and the response almost to a man was, "Oh, I wanted that guy, blah, 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 blah." And as a kid growing up almost with nothing, uh, it was kind of tough to be tortured by seeing these toys and not being able to get them. You could get the smaller, Bumblebee ones and all that, but yeah, to get this is a big deal for me personally. Maybe silly, but again, one of those things that makes me happy. And to find it just randomly out of the blue at a garage sale was a lot of fun. Now, I have to say something about this garage sale. Weirdest garage sale I ever went to. We it wasn't necessarily in a bad neighborhood. It was just in a weird part of town where everything was kind of sectioned off and it was kind of off by itself. Just I can't even describe it. It was just weird. Just everybody knows those weird part of towns where the streets are laid out, and it's if I didn't know where that was, you wouldn't know where it was, if that makes sense. But anyway, we roll up on this place, we get out and we're looking around, and everything is brand new and in boxes, and just the most random assortment of stuff. I think there was like a miniature Galaga arcade game that was literally like maybe 8 to 10 inches tall, shaped like a little arcade game. I would have got that, but they were asking too much for it. It wouldn't come down. And then the other thing that was kind of weird was they had a bunch of travel shampoo bottles in a great big thing, and then like hair salon supplies and combs, and then they had a handful of backpacks that were it was that deal where they take comics and it's a comic print and they make the backpack out of that. That's mainly what they were selling. The other random, really, really random thing was they had mounting brackets for flat screen TVs, but they were for TVs that were only like 20 to 18 to 20 inches. It's such a weird size, and it's like a stack of 10 or 15 of them. It's almost like those people that have the gigantic kitchens and they have a kitchen TV and they mount it above wherever they cut vegetables, one of those kind of things. It really made me think of that, and just a random assortment of stuff. And I was kind of worried that it might have been hot, but I guess there's places where you can bid for unclaimed freight, and it'd be like some 8-foot pallet shrink wrapped. You don't know what's on it, and everybody bids for it, and they win it. So I think it might have been one of those deals. But anyway, in this is this. Now, what this of course isn't the original Transformers deal. The original toys are so popular that they're reproducing them, and I think this is from 2018 or 19. And of course, they're doing new toys with new series and everything, but I'm sure probably the most popular stuff is still the original 80s stuff, which is what this is. Now, a neat thing with all this is you look at the back, which is really cool. Um, if you were a kid and you got some of the lower grade toys, the smaller, they had toys that were tiny compared to this, and they'd still have these murals on the back of them, and you'd probably spend just as much time looking at the packaging as you did playing with the toy. And the neat thing about this is, yes, it's an artist rendition, all this stuff, but it's an artist rendition of the toy. It's not animation. So you got the Brontosaurus guy transforming, it's a literal stuff, and it looks like how it would look like if you got it. Now, I had a buddy that had that, and I would hang out with him every once in a while, and he wouldn't let me touch the toy, but it was it was torture seeing the thing. And this is a huge toy. I think it's literally like 18 or 19 inches tall. It's a huge toy, and one of the neatest ones. And again, I don't even remember it in the show, if he was even in the show, but just some of the neat kind of background stuff. Now, here is a neat thing, which if you didn't grow up then and you didn't get some of these toys, you wouldn't know. But if you can see it here, I'm not sure if the camera is going to do us a very good job. You see the red vertical lines, and you see that blue kind of line going up and down. And what it is it's ratings for the character. So you'd cut this out, and then there's this little piece of red cellophane. The red here isn't as distinct, but the original toys, it was much like more saturated, so you could barely see the blue. So you put the red piece of cellophane over the top, and then you saw the blue lines. And that's part of the thing with the toys, robots in disguise, so you didn't really know all their attributes. So you'd collect these for all the toys you kept. Now, the other part of here is tokens. So if you get enough of these toys, you send away, you get extra perks. So if you got enough of them, you collect these deals, and you could get other stuff. So really cool that the box itself is almost as much of the toy as the toy is, and really cool deal. And even on the top shows you part of it. So let's get into them. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, so he's in... okay. Instructions. That's pretty cool. No cellophane. So, half this, and then the rest of them. Which I kind of wonder... I don't know if some of the original ones... I wonder if they didn't come with instructions, because I wonder if part of it is since a robot's in disguise, is part of the thing is like you should figure, it's a puzzle. Figure out how to transform the guy yourself. But I'm sure after kids broke some of... Can you imagine? Oh, can you imagine being a kid, Christmas morning, you never get anything like this, and you're actually getting the toy, and you break it, taking it apart? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be... I wish I could travel back in time and make it better for anybody that did, but yeah. So I can't imagine that. So that's probably why it's good there's instructions. So before we even get into this, the thing that I couldn't afford this, but boop, there were these other toys that went inside of this toy. Can you believe that? It's like, hey, here's a toy. What, you want to know how great our toy? This toy has other toys that go in this one. And so there were these small robots that were shaped like cassette tapes who transformed into other things. So I had a handful of those, but I could never get this. And yeah, so that's pretty cool stuff. Man. Oh, and of course, I'll do it now before I transform him, because the placement is kind of is not the best. But again, even though the transformer symbol is right there, another thing of there's a heat activated thing, which I didn't press my thumb on it long enough. Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, and that sticker's probably kind of old at this point, but the idea is that everything's a secret. Robots in disguise. Keep going with that theme. So let's transform this bad boy without breaking him. And the funny thing about these toys is it's kind of interesting thing. You don't play with these toys by actually playing with them. The playing with them is in the transforming. And the funny thing is you'd as a kid playing, you'd make the transforming sound, but of course you didn't go as fast as the animation style did. So you'd be sitting there making that same sound for a while. That just kind of cracks me up. So, and then turn his head around. There we go. Give him the gun. A little side action there. Yo, bro. So, that's a little bit of my childhood get back there. So, pretty cool deal, man. I don't know. Right in the feels, bro. So, yeah, that just makes me really happy to be just kind of handling this thing. And also kind of weird that just what a random weird thing to find this at a garage sale. Oh. and then put them back together. His gun. Turn the head around. And you know, when I'm making these videos, a lot of the purpose of all this stuff is, you know, how do you get to be a better artist? How do you get to be a better writer? How do you get to, you know, but part of what creativity is you have to be taking in just as much as you're creating. So if you're not filling up your tank, and you're not, you know, finding things, you know, maybe hobbies or things that, you know, things that make you happy or just breathe kind of life into you, you know, you got to have something in your well to draw from. And that's definitely what this is. So I guess until next time, let's all get published.